Good morning. Welcome to the Iron Chapel. Let's get started. I'm going to jump in, read our Acts scripture, open in prayer, which I forgot to do yesterday, and then I'm going to talk for a few minutes. Some stuff that's actually a little more of the Bent Bar or Beneath the Plates podcast, but a couple of things I want to talk about, and then we're going to jump in. Today is back and chest. We got a good workout for today, I think. So we'll pick up verse 6. We'll read to verse 11. So when they had come together, they asked him, "Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" He said to them, "It is not for you to know times or seasons that the Father has fixed by his own authority, but you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the end of the earth." And when he had said these things, as they were looking on, he was lifted up in a cloud and taken out of their sight. And while they were gazing into heaven, as he went, behold, two men stood by them in white robes, and said, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into heaven? This Jesus who was taken up from you into heaven will come in the same way as you saw him go into heaven." Okay. Let's just start off with, like I said, some prayer. I was thinking for today, we just pray for a great workout today for everyone who's following along, not literally following along, but their workouts today for safety. Good workout, good pump, but also no injury, and just a safe, good workout. Pray blessings in your name, pray. Amen. Okay, so I said today's back and chest. So it's going to go dumbbell chest press. I just have everything at 4 sets of 10. I'll adapt that, adjust that if I need to. So I have 4 sets of 10 right now. I'm getting all these notifications all of a sudden. Oh, because it's 9. So 4 sets of 10, like I said, that'll be everything, unless I adjust. And then I'm going to do dumbbell rows. So I'll just flip over and do dumbbell rows. And then we'll have to probably adjust the camera. Then we're going to go over to cable machine. I just have cable machine, chest workout, 4, 10, 10. I have 2 times I say I have cable machine. So I'll decide what I want to do. Do I want to do a press? Do I want to do more of a fly? Do I want to just do a single, I don't know. 2 times I just have cable machine, whatever I'm feeling on the cable machine. And then we'll do barbell rows. I'm going to use my Easy Bar and just do 4 sets of 10 on rows on that. And chest flies, so back onto this bench. And then instead of a press, we'll do flies. I am kind of nervous. I don't love the idea of, I know that those are a little easier to tear a pec. So what I do is I just use lightweight and heavy reps. So I will never do these on the second set of workouts for the week where I'm doing high weight. I wouldn't do these. These are only low weight, high rep for me, just so I don't have to be stressed about it. And then also, I just don't go all the way back, that full extension. So, I don't know, why is that showing blurry? Oh, it was out of focus. So on those, instead of going all the way and getting that full extension, I'll do that full extension stuff on a machine or something. I feel more in control. So I'll come to maybe here. And so not all the way back. So it's going to be, something like that. My autofocus is struggling with my arms moving like that. And then the other thing too, if you're worried about, you can also do it on the ground, because then you literally can't go past. So I learned that from Sam Sulek. I've never done that. Well, I did it once. You can do the cable or the dumbbell chest flies on the ground, and then when your arms hit the ground, boom, you're not going super far back. So my theory is if it's not as effective as it could be getting the full range, but then it's a lot more effective than pulling or tearing a pectoral muscle and being out for a while. So when in doubt, I just keep it safe. Back to the cable machine for the last thing. Whatever I didn't do, I'll just, whichever one was second place. I have on here, walk 5 miles, 500 ab reps, and recovery on foam roller. Full disclosure, I didn't do any of that. Well, that's not true. I did my 5 miles yesterday, but I didn't do the 500 ab reps or the foam roller because I think I may have talked about this. My wife was like, "Hey, you want to go walk at the park?" So I did the majority of my walking there, and when I came back, I had a little bit to finish, but I was on the phone, and I did my walking. I ended up not mixing those in. So I did not do that yesterday. I feel like these might take me some time to get back, to mix those in. to mix it into the rotation, as it were. I'm going to start off, instead of music, the first maybe like 15-ish minutes is going to be just full disclosure, I'm not having a great mental health day. Well, that's not true. My internals are trying to have me not have a great day. If you haven't read my description or listen to any of my Beneath the Plates, I'm bipolar too. And today it's really trying to get me just kind of ticked off, and a couple little things have happened. I got a brand new pair of pants yesterday that I absolutely love, perfect pair of pants. I ended up getting a bloody nose this morning and got blood. It just everywhere. It was the weirdest thing. I had a slight bloody nose yesterday, so it's the allergies. I have a buddy who's having, the same bloody nose issues with allergies. And I know typically allergies is something kind of weird going on this year with stuff. So I'm there, and like I got blood all over my brand new pants. I literally bought them yesterday in the middle of the day, and put them on this morning. I was super, I wore them a little bit yesterday, had them this morning. I was so excited. I got blood just all over the inside thigh on my left leg, and it just splattered everywhere. It literally looked like I like stabbed someone, and like their blood splattered on me. So I've been hydroperoxiding those off and on for the last hour. They're in the next room drying. And then just a couple little things that are just like pressing. I could tell that like it's the bipolars trying to switch me over to that, like the worst part of manic, the frustrated, the spinning out. I don't, into the where I won't get anything done. So I'm fighting that, and part of how I'm fighting that is being productive, not just sitting around. Because what would normally happen is I was like, I did not want to do this workout right now. I was trying to negotiate with myself to do it later in the day. I had all these different reasons why, and all I want to do is sit around and just play Minecraft and listen to my fiction books, which is not what is on the docket for today. I have a lot to do today. So it's trying to spin me out, and it's the worst one. It's trying to switch over to, I've talked about in my podcast, the worst one, where it's a mixed state between depressive, the traits of like, nothing really matters, I don't care about anything, who cares about my to-do list, screw everything, it can all burn down. And the anxiety like the, not anxiety, but like the little bit of that nervous tick energy, and just like the irritation of the mania. So I'm gonna try to really fight that today, because that is the one I'm never really happy with accepting. If I'm depressive and I need rest, fine. If I'm manic and I'm not getting, I can deal with all of them except this one mixed state. This one mixed state is the one that is the part that will undo progress and set me back. So, and not just lose a day, but set me back and bad things. So we're gonna fight that. So instead I told myself, no, you are gonna do the video. You said you're gonna do them at 9 o'clock. You're gonna do it. You're not gonna wait. You're not gonna push it off. You're not gonna spin out. And so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go in there, and I'm going to do my walk. I'm gonna record a podcast and kind of talk about it. And so all that to say, so I'm fighting that. So this morning I was listening to my Bible reading. I like to start the day off. I listen to 30 minutes of the Bible while I play Minecraft. And it was talking about David, and it talked about how David, after they'd been at battle and they came back, and these guys had come in, another nation had come in and taken all their wives and kids and everything, basically. And then his men, they said they basically cried until they couldn't cry anymore. And then the guys were like, okay, but we're still mad. We just can't cry anymore. So we're going to kill you because you're our leader and you let this happen. And I don't remember the exact wording, but it basically said like David's heart was like, he had nothing left, basically. And it said he had to refresh himself. He had to like minister to himself. And so I was like, that's what I'm freaking doing today. I'm gonna get in there and do a really good workout. We're gonna be dripping sweat. It's getting a little warm in here, so that's gonna help. We're gonna get just an insane workout done. And then we're gonna move into the walking and the podcast. And we're just I'm gonna refresh my heart type thing. And so that's what we're gonna do today. Because I refuse, like I said, this one, it's deadly, man. I can cope and deal with and manage and like find the positive in every other version of the bipolar. It's this one state, which is the deadly one, and I'm not doing it. So this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get started. Oh, that's right. I wanna bring in something from one of my old shows, Geek Church. Start these episodes off, cracking a drink. Good old Diet Mountain Dew. I actually don't love it from a can. Okay. Got a couple notifications. Oh, I have a comment on one of my TikTok videos. Let's see if this is one of those things too, setting up to try to trigger the bipolar. So see if it's something. Oh, it's on my energy drink one, so it can't be too annoying. It's probably positive. Energy drinks, Agape Energy and Monster.
You an energy drink drinker?
Okay, so with that, what I was gonna say is I'm gonna start off these first two workouts. I have a YouTube video I want to listen to. It's called "You're Not Doing the Work." It's mostly Alex Hormozi from interviews with, it looks like Chris. I can't think of his last name, but he's a podcaster. And it's Alex Hormozi talking about work, and I have it at 1.5 speeds. So hopefully between it coming through the speaker, getting picked up by my microphone. Oh, it's down here. And then it being at 1.5 speeds. Hopefully that doesn't flag the audio. Otherwise, I will have to then like strip the audio from this part and put something else in, music or something like that, which I don't want. So I am gonna listen to this. It's 20 minutes and 48 seconds, but at 1.5 speed, you do the math, it's gonna be a little shorter. So I'm guessing around 15 minutes, because 2x would be 10 minutes. So we're gonna start off, I'm just gonna focus on working out. I gotta get into the mindset. I gotta fight this bipolar crap. And I'm gonna listen to this because this is gonna make me feel good and get me focused for the day. And so, yeah, let's listen to this. I might talk a little bit, but I'm gonna mostly just listen to this, focus on these first two: dumbbell chest press 4x10, and then dumbbell rows 4x10. I don't know how long it'll take. Probably be able to get both those done in this time if I really focus. So let's do that. We're gonna start my workout. Not an outdoor walk, traditional strength training. Boom. 3, 2, 1. Let's start this. And guys, unless I jump in, I'm probably not. I'm gonna try not to. I will see you guys in about 15 minutes. I mean, you're gonna see me, but we'll talk. I'll catch up with you in about 15 minutes. Because like I said, I gotta take care of this.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Do so much work, it would be unreasonable for you not to be successful.
It is so easy to beat people today. They're so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're trying to find notification because they can't stick.
Start with just 15s as a warm-up.
Almost every successful person
That's why I like 4 sets.
Has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds
probably do
interesting,
20
that most
for the
people want to do
warm-up.
during that entire season of their life. And they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they love. Most people's definition of work is a negative one, which is why they abhor it, which is also why they misunderstand so many people who quote, are successful or ahead of them or whatever, is that both people, one person says the word work and the other person hears the word pain. The first step to like becoming more successful is understanding the language that the people who are successful are using. They're actually defining the word. Whatever that thing is that you actually enjoy doing, where you lose track of time when you're in it, even if it's challenging, but usually it is challenging, right? Like it's not easy because then it's boring. The people who are quote addicted to work make it easy to be addicted to work because they do things worth doing. And I think a lot of it is coming down to making sure that you take the few precious seconds that we have to do the few things that are worth doing for the rest of your life.
You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings.
Keep going. I'm
Going
at
to bed late,
25.
waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. If you're one of those people that push work-life balance, just remember that people who like working a lot don't care. I've never regretted trying harder. Ever.
I like to do it 4x10 because that
But an epic story
first set is lightweight,
And so what happens is it will give you a very real
and it's like the warm-up.
actually working versus how long you think you're working, and you tell other people working, and you Instagram how long you're working. And as
We'll go up to 25.
meaning my output per unit of time has gone up, I've realized that there's just been a significant decrease in the distractions that I allow to interrupt it. Again, if you want to stay focused is not like zeroing in and saying I'm going to do just like I'm going to just zoom in on this thing. It's more that focus occurs when you remove everything else. What's left is focus.
And so the thing is that people always fear being the new entrant. But when you have nothing to lose, or you have nothing going for you, it also means you have nothing to lose. And that means that every position on the board always has an advantage. Because anybody who has achieved this big thing that you have was also once a 22-year-old who had nothing going for them.
You're at zero.
Right.
You can't get worse than that.
You have unlimited shots on goal. And so not taking the shot is like saying, life, I don't want to scratch off this lottery ticket, but the lottery ticket's free. Why would you not scratch it off and try it? First advantage is you've got...
I'm gonna go 15.
Next advantage is you have nothing to lose. Third is you also have time, and you have very low responsibilities. And so you have not only the ability to put all of yourself into something, you also have no circumstantial things that are preventing you. People look at champions and try and find something that that champion has that they don't have. He's like, but it's not that at all. He's like, they lack something everyone else has, which is an off button. They just don't stop. At the end of the day, like, if we're optimizing for outcomes...
Normally I'd go up to the 35s, where you keep it and just do sets of 15.
The biggest fear or pain that they're running away from, and the hardest impulse control. Now, impulse control, most people agree is a good thing. The other two, not as much. What are we optimizing for? What problem are we solving? My favorite is probably the number one most frequently asked question that I ask to our portfolio companies whenever we're about to do anything, which is what problem are we solving? If the problem that we're solving is that I want to be content, well, there's a lot of ways to do that. You don't have to. If the problem you're solving is that you want to be the richest man in the world, well, you're going to have a lot of security. You have a lot of crippling insecurity, and you have a lot of impulse control, and you're going to wait a long time. you only start really liking stuff when you get good at it, in my opinion. You only get good at it by doing it a lot of times before you. This is why I'm a big believer in this, is that when you are starting out, I think you gotta find the thing that's the pain. And like, pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like, people are like, no, passion's the right way. It's like, point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation. Pain. I think people should use their pain. And if they don't have enough pain, then one, maybe that's fine, and you're a dreamer, and that's okay. I will tell you that a word that I read in my like 6-month journey between when I wanted to quit and when I actually quit, there was this word that just pissed me off. It was this in the self-help or entrepreneur book, and it said, there are entrepreneurs and there are entrepreneurs.
The world belongs to optimists, because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will. The cynics get to be right, and the optimists get to be rich. 99% right, and 100% wrong. They're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100%, because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end. Your family and friends will say that every goal you elevate is not good enough, except for the one time you find a goal that you're actually going to marry, or that this business idea won't work. And you might have 9
15.
There's 9 businesses that didn't really amount to anything. 9. As in, the first one.
So one more set.
It failed. Second one, this one will be different. Spent time on it, failed. And the third one, this one, failed. And then 6 more after that. And it's painful shit, because the whole time everyone is telling you, I told you so. And they're right. Today, but not forever.
We have this idea, I call it the fallacy of the perfect pick, but thinking that you're going to have this one shot, this one pick of this one opportunity, this one podcast, this one whatever, that's going to take you all the way. It's the habit of biting that takes you all the way, not where you choose to bite the first time. I obviously now have a huge history of this, and you do too. We have learned to just bite and know that our teeth will get stronger and we will learn how to chomp down along the way. And so if you want to do big shit, it takes a way longer period of time, because the easy shit, the little hills, everyone conquers really quickly. I'm on time. I say please and thank you. It's like, so fucking what? And so if you want to do something that most people can't do, maybe you should extend the time horizon on things that most people can't. Like, there's so much opportunity on the other side of being willing to persist for an extended period of time on the correct path without getting positive reinforcement from your environment. That the longer you can stick with something without that positive feedback loop, which is the big external thing, the easier the opportunities are, because so few people can pursue them.
What would have had to have happened in a week for you to look back on that week with pride? Okay, maybe stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win you got for the day. That's action. You want to become a writer. You want to leave your job and become a writer. Okay, can you commit to writing 1 blog post on Substack per week for the next 3 weeks? That would make you feel like less of a loser. If you did that, action has to come first if you're the sort of person who is chronically unconfident, because you will drag your sense of identity behind you.
So a lot of us want traits, right? We want to be patient, we want to be long-suffering, whatever words we use. If you had a great human, what would you put through? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life. What would you put through information? You probably wouldn't be a piece of human. And so it's like, we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. It's just like, you gotta pay the price tag to get the
15.
And so I think if people reframe the period of life that they're going through as the price that they're paying out of their wallet, but the seconds of life that they're trading for it, then I think more people will be willing to make the trade. Because at least when I look at myself, like when I'm 80-something years old and I'm looking back in my life, I want to have these traits. But in order to have these traits, I don't have to go through these things. And I think for me, that's given me a lot of comfort in hard times.
It doesn't make sense to continue wanting something if you're not willing to do what it takes to get it. If you don't want to live the lifestyle, then release yourself from the desire. To create the result, but not the process, is the guaranteed disappointment.
But there's a very big difference between doing what someone does and doing what they did to get there. And I think this is what's lost in a lot of the content that I see in the e-commerce space. And to be clear, whenever I'm trying to get to the next level, I often have to take on things that I don't know how to do. And I have to learn how to do that, which means I have to suck for a period of time. And sucking sucks. But the thing is you have to embrace that period of time and say,
These are gonna be 35s.
You get absolutely better returns.
Probably have to do 15, 20, we'll see.
The problem is, to achieve the highest levels, you have to give up proportional amounts of the things you hoped the achievements would get you. There comes a time when the hard work you have to do is learning that you can't work anywhere, and that you have to change what got you here, what will get you to where you want to go. You can work to get anything you want, but you have to sacrifice the other things you want to keep it, and that's sometimes harder than the work.
And that was when, like, the reality of the situation of, like, there was no escape. There was no one who was going to come to save me. And I couldn't blame my dad. I couldn't blame my mom. I was the one who had chosen this life. But the alternative was that I had to go back to my father of failure and have him look me in the eyes and say, I told you, come here, don't worry about it. You know, I told you this gym stuff, this fitness stuff, this starting over, it's for later. It's fine. Just go back. Hey, you've got this great degree. Just go to the business school to do that. And I knew exactly what had happened. But what would have happened after that is that for the rest of my life, he would have had absolute authority over everything I did. And that felt like death. And so that was where I ran away from when I was in that moment. Like, whenever I felt my back was against the wall, I didn't know what to do. It felt like the Instagram reels, like the motivation, weren't going to get me through what I was going through, because no one cared that I was sleeping on. I let them know I'm sleeping on the floor. A month later, she's sleeping on the floor, and everyone's like, don't care. Like, great. You're pursuing your dream, right?
You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt.
Because a lot of people will, and some of these motivational people out here,
David Goggins.
They'll go, you wake up in the morning, pound your chest. Look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What you need is that everyday resume. The things I know I've accomplished, things I know I've done. Real hard work. The real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. You don't need to pound your chest in the mirror anymore if you have that.
If you can't sit still and ignore notifications and focus for a day, nothing great will get accomplished. Because it's not about what you want, it's about what's required. And whether that's your best or not is irrelevant. It's just there's a price tag and you gotta be willing to pay for it, or you don't get the thing. And a lot of times it's not what you want. And I spent a lot of time trying to dispel the concept of like follow your passion, because I think it leads more people astray than it helps. Because it's very easy for someone who's successful, who's already delegated tons of things, to only then focus on their area of genius and then say, here for my seed, do what I do.
If you don't want to live the lifestyle, then release yourself from the design. There is a path between where you are and the place that you want to be. If you're not prepared to do that walk, still wanting to reach the end of the path is just guaranteeing that you're going to live an unsatisfactory life. You have to start with action. It needs to be, okay, what would have had to have happened in a week's time for me to look back on that week and find pride in myself?
It's 20s.
Pride's seen as something that you should be ashamed of.
Try 25 this time.
But David Goggins did an episode with him a few months ago. He said pride is something that everybody misses. That having pride in your name, your performance, the way that you show up for other people is something that you can do. But you need to do something that is worthy of being prideful about.
Waiting to begin never got anyone anywhere.
When you say you're gonna do something and you follow through and you do it, not at the end when you cross the marathon and you finish it or your hands raised. I'm talking about right now. The small steps in between the big successes that everyone sees. No one sees this. Right now, I'm saying like there's a confidence to it, man. There's a bad motherfucker that's right here, that's getting ahead of the competition. There's an overwhelming sense of fulfillment and pride and satisfaction with that. I didn't have to shoot up anything. I didn't have to drink anything. I didn't have to go party anything. All I had to do was just go work out. And now what's going to happen is a residual effect of that. Not only my body grow, but my belief in whatever my current endeavors are.
I think one of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero. And if you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen. Losers define themselves by what happened to them.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition, it's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life, rather than doing the things you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
But you only need one yes or one positive to change your entire life. And so there's this habit, and that's where cynicism comes from, where we get so many positive reinforcers for saying no and being right. But it's only short-term being right, because you have to make big bets to win big. And that also means that you're wrong plenty of times, and people aren't willing to look stupid for being wrong. But everything has risk. And I've been public about it. Right? And so, like, if anything, but like, I played this out, so like, if it goes wrong, I'll document the things that I learned and I'll apply next time. And I'll do what I've always done, take facts and tell the truth.
It just takes work, shitloads and shitloads of work. Every time I try and dress it up or call it, I get brutally reminded the work just needs doing. The work doesn't care who you are, it just cares that it gets done.
And with that success,
So it's
a lot of people that
2, so 2
are
more?
going to applaud you, but the majority will hate you, man. They really will.
2 more.
They're going to hate you because, your success is a spotlight shining down their misfortune, and they fucking hate you for what you're doing is reminding them of these opportunities and stuff. So, it's lonely, man. It's like being his only car out in the parking lot. But if you're cool with that, man, if you're cool with walking in the shadows yourself, and, the only person you got is the man right there in the shadow, man. How you doing? Pretty good. How you doing? All right, man. Cool. It's kind of weird to have a conversation with you, but ain't no one else around, because everyone else has faded way back there.
People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on a daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day.
Everybody wants the view, but no one wants the climb.
You don't understand how it must be easy for you or whatever. No, fuck off, bro. Everybody's got challenges. Everybody's got things that they're struggling with. Man up.
Yeah.
Fucking man up. The world is as easy and convenient as it's ever going to be, and you're complaining about the fact that all the existential way of fucking living. Everybody's got that. Everybody has to face this stuff. And I don't mean ignore your emotions. I mean fucking integrate your emotions. Talk about them. Manning up also includes being mature about your emotions. It means crying in front of your friends and being vulnerable and open. This isn't like some ancient archetype of patriarchal toxic masculinity. This is me saying transcend and include your masculinity. Transcend and include the challenges that you've been through.
People need to learn to take one big risk a day, and that could be walking up to someone saying, "Would you like to go out on a date?" Practice that risk muscle. Knock on the door and try and sell something. Whatever the feeling of risk is to you, put a video up that might be embarrassing. Take a risk. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. But everything that you want is on the other side of the line.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. The sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I fucking feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning. And the nighttime, the moon gonna be there. You gonna look up, these days gonna keep going. So you let the days go by and look up, you're wasting a year doing what? What do you pick it up? All right. Figure it out. Made some mistakes. Life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point.
Your 1.0 version is going to try and negotiate with the 2.0 version and say, no, don't grow, don't change, go back to the loser that you were. Just have another drink, watch TV for another hour, eat that fucking ding dong. So I'm here to tell you that it will take longer. It will be more difficult. It will require more effort on your part. But you know what I can tell you about that? When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life. hard life that ends with regret. So I'm here to tell you that if you live a no compromise life, you become unreasonable in your expectations. Find a group of fighter jets to belong to and no more fucking protesters. You will become the 2.0 that you deserve to be and who deserves to have as a leader.
There's lots of people who work really, really hard for a long time and never make it. And that's because working hard is just part of the puzzle. The other part of the puzzle is how high your skill set is, how developed your skill set is. And so we have these people that say these things like, work smart, not hard, all right? Well, you're a moron, all right? I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because it takes both. It takes hard work and it takes smart work. So while you have to be putting in the work, you have to be showing up, you have to be giving it all you have to consistently be aware and conscious of the intentional skill set that you are building along the way. If you do not have the skill set and you just work hard, you're going to get paid a fraction of what you could get paid if you actually intentionally built skills to go along with it.
I would like to know, when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be all around or something like that. I'm all jacked up. Broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office. 35 African Americans in 70 years making through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36? It's the what if a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one can? Because it makes me just like, what if? This ain't you, bro. This ain't you. You weren't born like this.
You won't die. And if you do die, you won't care. Because you'll be dead. Best case, you win. Worst case, it won't matter.
There's no luck in this game, man. You don't get luck. But the luck happens after you cut your ass. And you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen. And that's what it's about.
If you believe it, if you really believe that you can be something, you have a little voice in your head saying, you got talent, you can do this. Then follow that voice.
Your motivation. You need discipline.
25.
I'm missing motivation most
Whew.
days. Sometimes I got motivation. Sometimes like, fuck yeah, today I feel
Cable
good.
machine.
A lot of days like, I get to the gym. And then once I get going, then I feel great. Yeah, I feel great when it's over. But it's that beginning part that's hard because your body wants to stay comfortable. Your body tricks you. Man, take the day off. You don't feel good. What did you get, like 6 hours sleep last night? That's not enough.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to be great. Most people don't want to find that extra because it's miserable. It's lonely.
It's easy. It's easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going for it.
the one-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go hard. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want it, live, breathe, sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. A lot of people, most people don't want it that badly. Which is why I ask the question, how do you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You want to do it.
Like, let's see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man. Get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Keep going. How long can you maintain a positive attitude?
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. You wake up, right to work. Immediately your mind is in action. No one wants to do that. No, don't blame them. But don't be mad. When you're laying there in your fucking bed, you're in the fucking hospital, you're 70, 80, 90 years old, you're thinking, like, I didn't fucking do something. Because you did. You didn't do it. You didn't do shit. You didn't live a great life, man. You always get feel empty inside. I don't feel empty.
The life you want is on the other side of a few hard conversations, and you're living a life you hate because you're too afraid to have them.
I think about that a lot. Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men and hard times.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's going to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there. They stay children forever.
You should be a monster. He said you should be a monster. You should be ruthlessly ambitious and then learn how to control.
So I talked about yesterday that quote.
Expression. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Okay, how good you are on anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody. Right. Ain't nothing without discipline. Because you give up on the side struggle without discipline.
100%.
Tell me discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
I'm gonna have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes, man.
It's time to get back to work. Stop talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab.
I'd say one of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the
Let's
dragon,
switch to a different
the more
one.
epic the story. And by
We're gonna
consequence,
just
the more
finish it
epic
off though.
The fear is never reaching your potential. That's it. Always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing.
And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back, oh God, I could have been great.
Yep.
Could have been great.
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide. Fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize.
That's why it stopped censoring it. It switched to a different video.
Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying. Because I'm trying to get it. Let me tell you something. These women ain't going nowhere. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere. The more weird you are, is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you're gonna fly.
People only root for people who don't. Like, the amount of times when I was on a lonely path where I was too different from the friends that I had, but not successful enough to be friends with the people that I wanted to be friends with. That's when you want people to root for you. That's when you want people to support you. Once you've already won, people are like, he's amazing, he's so amazing. But like, that's the time when you lose. And so, you always have to be the person who roots for you before everyone else does. And it's usually a single clap. For a very long period of time. It is a slow clap. That's just you rooting for you. And that visual, I think, is one that you can kind of take because it is. People struggle to do that. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with them. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were there, then it means you're not in the right place. Because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
I ain't fair. At all. At all. So what are you gonna do? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one could miracle me to be something. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We're all underdogs in life. Even the baddest person in the world should think that way. So you should always have I've never arrived mentality. And the can't hurt me mentality is no matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from, when I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt me. Nothing should be able to hurt you. If you believe that, it starts to become true.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else. They didn't have what you had. Yet now they're fucking to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field when you're striking out. Or it's when you get fired from your fifth job, you know, when your wife and kids are on your ass because they don't have support. You know? There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. Being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. You get off your fucking ass and you create something. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. I don't want it to unwrap it because there's too much fucking pain and
Power follows the ring finger. So like wherever you point the finger is where power follows. And so it's like if you point it at the government's power. If you point it at your spouse and say like it's their fault that I'm not in shape, it's their fault, they never let me do anything, it's like, well, you're giving them the power. And so it's like it's my fault. It's also it's my responsibility. What is? Well, it's not their fault. It doesn't matter. And like I can't because I lost my leg at birth. Either you can just never try, another thing on, and you do it anyways. You know, bro.
Whatever you do about it right now, just don't think about the 135 miles of fucking highway in front of you.
What do you want to do? An honest man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under control.
You have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do. And just
What you need is one thing I talked in my book, which is straight up work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
So was that 2 sets, I think?
Why be normal when you can be the best? I want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, and that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
There's human beings that have a different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. You gotta work.
Okay, way past that one video, but I'm really digging just the motivational. So today's just gonna be a motivational Tuesday. So this was 29 minutes. I think it's all Andy Frisella, the most real 29 minutes you'll hear this year. Just how my hard work. So we're gonna listen to this. It's It's got me working out harder. It's got me, I think it's good for. I said I can't lose today, just because my brain decides it's gonna just dump a bunch of crappy chemicals onto itself, or my body's gonna dump it into. So I gotta fight back on it, and so we're gonna just use this whole workout as just mental conditioning as well as physical workout. So if you don't like it and you prefer more than me talking, don't worry, these won't happen that often, like maybe once a month. So
Everybody's being mean to me. I have mental health. Everybody's piling on. And he's going to go in his little cocoon. He'll stay there, bro. You got to fight. Look, bro, it's hard. It's hard as... You're going to have days where you don't want to do anything. You're going to have days where getting out of bed is the hardest thing you ever did in your life. You got to get up and you got to get in the fight. That's reality. The minute you lay down is the minute that all those demons and all that anxiety and all that stress...
See? Can't lay down. Got to keep going.
You have to keep fighting. You have to wake up and do your job. Even if you have to crawl through it, you got to get up and do it. Because the minute you lay down, that got you forever, bro. You can't get out of it. Are you tired? Are you tired right now? You are a little tired. That's normal. But guess what you can do? You can still act, you can still execute, you can still work, and you can still be successful. In fact, when you're tired is what is going to make you successful. Stop with this bullshit about how tired you are. Nobody cares, and nothing great was ever achieved. It's a part of the recipe. It's a part of the success recipe.
This is definitely hitting the shoulders too, but
saying,
I don't care.
Well, you need to run yourself into the dirt. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the politically correct, socially correct people will say. Oh, Andy's saying, run yourself into the dirt till you're dead. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, don't be a weak little kid. I'm saying that everything great that you've ever done your entire life is built by tired people. And if you want to be one that builds amazing things, you're going to have to do so tired. That is the way it works. Ask yourself, what choice do you have? Because you really don't have. Because everybody believes that at some point in time, they're going to turn off, or some point in time, they're going to catch momentum, or some point in time, they're going to become what it is they want to become by circumstance, or by default, or by breathing the air. That's not what it takes, bro. People who think that get to the end of their life and they're like, I wasted my life. Okay, that's what they end up thinking. And there's really nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your life and saying, damn, dude, I didn't even really try. And that's where your head is. You don't know. This is why those of you with parents need to teach kids reality. Stop teaching your kids. Stop teaching your kids that they're going to be okay if they don't try hard. Stop teaching your kids that they're ultra special because they came out of your vagina. Bro, there's been trillions of people that live on this earth all through history. They have you know what I'm saying? And your kid, no matter how much is not special compared to all the other kids. Now, if you're not special, that's a different thing. You want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with them, like my brother does with his son, who is dominant in sports. Okay? The kid goes out and plays soccer sports for 5 goals and I take him out of the game. And all the parents are pissed off. Like one of the parents literally took his shirt off and started screaming at my brother. But here's the thing. These parents are pissed off because they used their kids were spent hundreds of hours with Enzo over and over and over and over. He goes out and kicks ass. And you on the way home, they laugh about that kicking his way down. And they have fun. And they're happy that Enzo lost. Bro, that's what because he's doing the work. He's winning, bro. Get out of your own head. Get out of your field. And get for yourself. That'll fix that. And here's the thing. All these people who you look at who have built the things that you want to build. All the kinds of people you want to become. All of those people were afraid too. All of those people had doubts just like you. All of those people had a little dialogue inside their head that said, what if it doesn't work? What if I do this and everybody laughs at me? What if I do this and everybody makes fun of me? What if I do this and I fall on my face? They all had that, and guess what happened? They did fall on their face, and everybody did laugh at them. But every single time they fell, they got back up. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. Nobody has built what it is you want to build. Nobody has become what it is you want to become without pushing through the same things that you're dealing with now.
Rose.
They don't have more talent. They don't have more skill. They were just willing to be laughed at, and you aren't. I see a lot of people, either they don't believe in themselves, or they don't believe they can be great, so they don't try, or they think they got all the time in the world. They think it's just going to work out. They're like, dude, I know for a fact that's not the case. And it's very frustrating, dude. It's like, saw someone that you care about, you saw them standing in the road, 18-wheeler was coming, no matter how much you yelled at them, no matter how much you screamed, they couldn't hear you. That's what it's like for me. That's why I get so frustrated. That's why the internet sees me and they're like, what's going on with this guy? Why is he so angry? I'm angry because you guys don't understand.
So these are 15s. I thought this bar was 35. Kind of feels more like 25. I don't know, I'm gonna have to weigh it. Or I guess I could go look at, no. I don't know if I bought this or if it was a gift.
Now they're having to do much they don't want to do. What makes you so special that you think that you're going to be able to accomplish what they've accomplished without going through that process? In fact, that's pretty arrogant, isn't it? You think you're so special that you get to skip all the hard parts and the universe is just going to line up for you and everything's going to be easy? You think you get to skip all the parts where everybody laughs at you and everybody makes fun of you and everybody says that you're stupid and crazy and never going to be able to do it? You think you're going to be able to skip? What makes you so special that you can skip that and everybody else had to go through it? That's what you don't understand.
Okay. Barbell bent over rows. Air Force has a 10 on there. We'll see.
Everybody you look up to is paying that price. What makes you think you're not going to have to pay? This is why most people never get anywhere. Most people are incapable of picking up action. No, just don't. They observe the possibilities, they get paralyzed by all the possibilities, they refuse to move forward into the possibilities, and then time passes. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path, you commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through, okay? If I don't see this through, I'm going to be digging ditches. That's what I tell myself. When I don't want to come here and I don't want to do this, I get tired of, doing what I do. It happens to everybody. You go through ups and downs. I pretend like I have zero options. I say, do this, bro. I'm going to be digging ditches. So I better show them how to get it done. And that might sound ridiculous to you because that's not the truth anymore, but I still tell myself that. That's how I operate. You have to pick
25. We're going to do 25.
to it for as long as that's going to take to make sure that you see it. I'm trying to tell you that being tired is part of the game. Okay, so it's not a valid excuse. It's normal. It's a constant. It's part of being human. And if you want to be a high achiever, guess what? You're going to have to acclimate yourself to being tired way more than you're not tired. Successful people understand this, guys. Successful people do not use tired as an excuse. In fact, they understand that if they push through the tired, everybody else stops when they're tired. And so by pushing through the tired, you actually create a gap between you and everybody else that you're competing with. And here's another thing that happens when you're tired. Because no one else ever pushes through when you're tired, because you're someone that always pushes through when you're tired, you learn this unique skill set that allows you to operate at a high level when you're tired. Okay, and that's a huge competitive advantage over everybody else. I don't have the resources to get this done, bro. Nobody has the resources. That's what forces the creativity. That's a skill that you will have a massive advantage with over all the competitions 10 years from now. So what you're competing with someone that's better funded. So what you're competing with someone with rich parents. So what you're competing with someone with all the shiny new tools and everything they need to succeed. Those people will use those things as a crutch, and then 10 years from now, when they have to make a creative decision, they won't be able to make it because they never honed the skill, because they were never forced to, because they never understood what it meant to work without actual resources. And because we grew up, and we all know we don't know what we're doing, we all think we're unqualified. But the secret is, guys, everybody's unqualified. All these people that you look at, all these people that you look up to, they don't have anything. They just do things differently than you do. And what they do, and what unsuccessful do, and this comes from my observation many, many years, it really comes down to one thing. People who win, they make their minds, and then they say, I'm going to do this no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter what I have to go through to make this happen. And they start climbing before people, and they keep climbing after other people quit. And that's the secret to doing this. There's no special skill, there's no secret knowledge, there's no magic. In fact, the magic that everybody thinks there is just simply persevering through the hard things that come our way and never stopping. And the people who have strengths and you don't need to worry about this, that's not an accuracy. It's not reality. So what will happen is you will get really strong in one area, but this part keeps on taking on pulling back. It'll act you're running towards all the time. Now you don't need to dwell on your process, you do need to pay them enough attention where they go
25. Too much of that was my triceps.
It always has to do with validation outside of you. You do not need them to believe in you. You do not need your friends to tell you you're great. All you have to do is go become great, and they will recognize you. You don't have to get permission from Fat Susie Homemaker over here if PTA meeting or how to raise your kid. You don't need permission from Bob the Builder to become a woodworker. Like, you don't need permission.
I got an itch right here. You've been, if you notice, when you're scratching it all day.
Nobody ever came to me and said, Andy, you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur. Or Andy, you have what it takes to build multiple successful podcasts. Actually, I got told I was an idiot. Actually, I got told that I couldn't do. Actually, I got told I should get a real job. Actually, I got told that I wasn't capable of any of the things that I've done. That's fine to do. I've not done that. Okay, if I went around and told people what I could and couldn't do, I'd be sitting in the same spot I was 20 years ago. You guys know that I talk openly about this thing called the big voice a lot, right? The big voice is that voice inside your head that is always negative, that always tells you why you can't do something or why you shouldn't do something. And the reason that the voice is so effective on all of us is because it is the exact voice that knows exactly what to say to get us to pause or to get us to wait or to get us to put off for tomorrow what needs to be done. This can wait till tomorrow is one of the most effective lies that the voice uses. Why is it so effective? Because it's not telling you to give up. It's not saying, hey, bail out on your dreams. It's just telling you to pause until tomorrow. It's not telling you to stop working on your goals. If it did that, you'd be alert to the voice. So it comes in real quick, and it tells you, hey, you did enough today. This can be done tomorrow. And that sounds good when you're tired. That sounds good when you're worn out. Right? I know I didn't finish what I was supposed to finish, but I can't actually wait tomorrow. And this is why it's so effective. It's very important to understand that this excuse, this lie that we tell ourselves about waiting until tomorrow will cost you everything. You never start tomorrow. You always do, and then you end up with a mountain so big you don't want to climb it. So what's the answer? It's to do it now. Right? Why should you do it? Because it's what I've said a million times before on this show. All right? And I think this talk to. Action gets results. Equation of math. It's 1 plus 1 equals motherfucker. If you take action right now, you are that much closer to
25.
will come to fruition that much faster if you go now. Okay, so you do not continue to tell yourself over and over and over again to wait, because there is no better time than now. If you do it now, the results happen faster, and that's what you ultimately want. way to get to where you want to go is by taking action right now, continuing to take action, and pushing through these lies, especially this one about, I'm going to wait till tomorrow, so this result happen faster for yourself. Do you want this result to happen when you're 100, or do you want this result to happen a year from now? It's up to you. A lot of people completely their entire lives up by thinking that their success is the result of them. When in reality, it's not the result of them, it's the result of the actions that the previous version of them have taken, which have produced this reality. Okay? So now you're in a reality of comfort.
What was that?
In the bank. You're pretty good. Things are going well. And then you stop. You stop doing the things that hungry person did. You stop doing the things that fat person did to get in shape. You stop doing the things that broke person did to fix that problem. And then what happens? The problems start to happen again. Okay? And slowly and surely you go back down to who you used to be in reality, not just in your mind. If the universe actually does create, okay, your brain. You don't know what to create if you don't intentionally create it. It's going to continue to give you more at time. It's what most people think about. Most people think about Thursday night, Friday night with the boys. What we're going to do this weekend. Honestly, think about that. You're going to continuously live your life. Over and over, right? And then you audit yourself right now. And you look at your life. And you're honest. And you say, okay, what do I fix it? What are my thought processes? And you be honest with yourself.
5 more.
Even if you're not intentionally visualizing, you realize that your life is a relevant. And so, if we're honest with ourselves, that's the truth. Okay? So many people get caught up in this because all they think about is how hard they have it. All they think about is how hard you have it. Doesn't mean what you do. Right? Do more of what you think about. I enjoy the things that are extremely difficult because I know that people are competing with me. Like, for example, like when I go out, a lot of you guys watch me, you see me out, doing the Live Hard program. It's minus 27 degrees. It was a month ago. And you're like, why is this guy doing this? Well, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm training myself to do things. I know for a fact that not a single one of my peers or owns a company out there that I'm competing with or in the personal development space. People I'm,
Chest flies next.
Competitors because I like these people. But I also take pride in being a little bit harder than what they are. And so, while it may sound stupid to you, this is a way for me to prove to myself that I'm willing to do what they're not willing to do. People think that the world sees you a certain way, and that that's how you are, and then you have to change it. That's not how it works. When you see yourself a certain way, the world respects that and sees you that way. And that goes through your habits, your lifestyle, and everything you're trying to work on. And so, we create the image that the world accepts. And I think that the world tells us what. And I think there is two classes of people, right? You have a class of people that understand, you become what I want to become, and that's the small percentage. And the rest of the percentage, the world tells them no 3 or 4 times. They're like, okay, I'm just going to take my place over here and be little and be small, just be a regular person. And then they're like, why is my life like this? Well, bro, because you're not seeing yourself as the way you should be. And if you can't see yourself that way, then you need to build yourself into someone who can see that way. Dude, get your shit together, bro. Stop reading memes on the internet about how you need to get in your fields and start realizing this is a war, bro. It's a real thing. Yes, and whether you want to or not, you cannot opt out of the competition. You can say, oh, I don't feel like it. Okay, cool, we don't lose. If you're in a predatory situation in nature, bro, which we are. We're at the top of the food chain. There's more competition in the human race than there is competition in pride of lions. But I'm going to tell you this. The minute you're a lion, you behave like a weak little bit. You know what happens to you? The other lions eat you. And that's the same thing that happens with men. The minute you start putting this, you're done, bro. Because there's plenty of men, me, like all these people here in my building, that'll kill you because they're so hungry to win and build for themselves. The game does not stop because you don't feel like playing it, bro. You are in competition whether you realize it or not. Just because we're all running from the lion, bro. We're all the gazelles running from the lion. And when you stop running, just because you want everybody else to stop running, guess what happens to you? The lions don't give a shit. The rest of the world don't give a shit. Bro, you're having mental health problems. I'm sorry to tell you that. They just don't. I've had it my whole life. I figured out how to get around them. You know how I figured out how to get around them? By training myself day after day after day after day after day after day after day for years, that I can win every single month and day if I try. My day, and I wake up in the morning, because usually in the morning is when I'm the most depressed and most anxious. By the time I get done with my day, I can kick them up. That's all day. Guess what I feel like when I get home? I feel like $1 million, bro. I feel amazing. Because not only did I win, I won in the face of the negative. That's powerful. You giving up and laying down and staying on your bed all day is going to kill you, dude. So there's this big thing on the internet.
Okay, what he just said. That's what I'm doing today. He basically said, I'm paraphrasing, but since you don't have a mental health problem, you have like a work ethic problem. And he said, you wake up, you're not feeling it, you feel mental health. That was me today, right? He said, you just lay down. I forgot most of what he said already because the blood is in my back, not my brain. But that's like the entire, what are you talking about? There was the entire point is like, I could just say I have bipolar and just like let today be a waste. And again, if it was just depressive, I probably would rearrange my schedule, and I have a bunch of studying to do. And I would have been like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk and play Minecraft all day while studying, listening to audio. I got a bunch of commentaries, a bunch of books, I'm starting the series on Acts. I have a bunch of research and studying to do. But I refuse to give in to this one specific type of mixed state. I could trace back basically every failure in my life, well, probably 99% of all the failures in my life, to this one mixed state. So I'm going to war with this one mixed state. Like, I don't tolerate it. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not negotiating with it. So days that I have this mixed state, I'm just going to have to like shut the brain down and just work so hard all day that I'm just too freaking tired to have the depressive and the anger of the mania and the apathy of the depressive because I'm just boo like this workout. I'm not really taking that long a rest in between. I am all sweaty, my back, my forehead. I'm gonna get done with this. I'm gonna go to the park and walk with my wife because she asked me to, but then I'm not gonna count that against my 5 steps or my 5 miles for today. So then I'm gonna come back and I'm still gonna do 5 miles. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna edit a lot of videos I got on CapCut loaded to edit clips from. And I'm gonna do another 5 miles, which is gonna take me probably 4 hours. And then when I get done with that, I'm gonna go home, probably take a shower, and then I'm gonna sit on my laptop and I'm gonna basically edit the rest of the day until I feel like it's late enough in the day and I'm tired enough that I can just get in bed. And I think my wife and I have one more episode of Yellowstone watch. We thought we had 2 episodes left. Turns out there was like 5 left. So we thought we were gonna finish 2 episodes last night, and then there was a 3rd. We watched that one, and now there's a 4th. It's like, I can't do a 4th. So yeah, that's like my plan, is just keep busy all day. You know, you talk about how Grant Cardone, I know this isn't his originally, but he talks about how, idle hands are the devil's playground. An empty calendar. I got a calendar up here behind me. You want to meet the devil, leave white space on your calendar. So we're not going to do that today. We're just going to go all day today, get everything done, and at the end of the day, I don't know, maybe our bodies are pretty adaptive. Maybe my stupid body will stop mixing the right amount of chemicals that give me this exact mix state if it knows that every time it does it, I have to kill myself. And I don't mean like unaliving. I mean like literally I work all day long from the moment I realize that mixed state is trying to form until I literally turn the lights off and go to bed. And I just work all day long. So, but even if it doesn't, even if it keeps happening, it'll be a way to make a productive day. I just did a whole episode about being a little more forgiving and lenient with myself in the depressive states. But again, this one is, I can't really say it's evil because that's not technically accurate theologically, but it is basically, I have to look at it as this evil enemy that I must conquer, vanquish with all prejudice. So let's get back to this.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is bad. Comparison is the thief of joy if you're not willing to get up and compete. Okay? Comparison is the thief of joy when you're doing nothing and you know other people are doing things and it steals your joy.
It's hard to swallow when my ear's doing that thing.
99% of it is told you with the idea of pacifying the lazy that lives inside of you. You watch all these feel-good people and you listen to what they say, and then you remember that there's a much bigger market for victims than there are for actual doers. Then their content will make sense. When you hear them say all of this feel-rich, when you hear them make all these excuses and tell you not to do these things, how many of those people are actually going to go win? The answer is hardly any of them. They're going to go from event to podcast to mastermind to personal coaching, looking for the answer that doesn't exist, okay, that they don't want to admit is the real path forward, which is figuring out what it is you want to do and then dedicating your entire life to making that happen. So when I pick up my phone and I'm out in full, cold gear trying to do my and I pick up my phone and I see everybody else like playing golf, drinking hot chocolate, or chilling on the beach, or whatever it is that you do, I take a lot of pride in that. I'm like, yeah, see, I'm winning everything. Right now, at this minute, I'm winning everything. So like, I like that. I like that feeling, and it gives me confidence into my own abilities and my own ability to persevere and do things that are difficult. And so that's how I frame it in my mind to embrace the hard things. Like, when you can remember that, because like this is a reality that most people are uncomfortable accepting, but it's true. You are in a competition. Like you may say, I don't compete with anybody. I only compete with myself. Like we see this meme all over the place, right? Like The only person you compete with is the version of yourself yesterday. While that may be true, that is how you should look at it. It's a great way. Yes, because how you're going to beat your external competition is by doing that. Okay? But here's what you have to realize about that. That doesn't mean that external competition is make-believe, fake, or it doesn't exist. And so a lot of people like to opt out of competition by saying, I'm not competing with you, but you f***ed up. And that's the reality. And so when you understand that that's reality, especially in business where you have competitors, these people might, like, bro,
20.
most of the dudes that run other companies, they don't all right? This is on a shorter
Okay.
Okay? Like, you eat good for 2 weeks.
Set 2.
Then eat bad for 2 weeks. You got to start over. So, when you think about discipline,
We did 20.
think about it as a trait that we are
And
gifted
just
with, and thinking of it as a skill that we develop.
progressively drop these down if I need to. So I'm going to try to do 20. If it gets too hard, we'll do 17, 18, 15, 12, whatever for 4 sets. So 3 more.
Why it's going to be okay. You got to make sure that voice wins all the time. This is not an amateur. The voice knows exactly what to say at exactly the right time to get us to pause and wait and ultimately procrastinate our dreams away. Okay? It doesn't want you to feel totally defeated. It doesn't want you to feel totally demoralized. Because in your misery, you're going to find the resolve to start again. Only this time, you're going to work that much harder because you know the voice is coming. The big voice only wants to delay your win, to delay your work. It wants you to just put off getting things done for one more day. All right? And one more day leads to another day. And then it leads to another day. And then it leads to a week. And then it leads to a month. And then it leads to years. Guys, this is how I got to be 350 pounds. I told myself I was going to start every Monday for 4 years. I never started. And the reason I didn't start was because I was told every single day, hey man, you're tired, you're stressed, business is hard, look, we'll tackle this in a little. Only that little later time accumulates and accumulates and accumulates until we're to a point where the mountain's so big, you're demoralized by it, and then you lose. We're all born with competitiveness inside of us, and then it's weeded out as society. You know, when we first grow up, when we're, under the age of, we are taught to be anything. You could be anything. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a president. You could be anything. Right? But as time goes, by the time you're a senior in high school, they're telling you what they told me that you're a idiot. And that, dude, you should be dreams to being a regular person. I'm being realistic. Yeah, that's right. That's weeded out of it. You know, like when I was a senior in high school,
20.
what do you want to do? I told them where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and the response was, Andy, you're not creaming the crop, man. That's a path for people that are creaming the crop, and that's just who you are. And I remember that burned in my brain like it was yesterday. I'm glad it was said to me because I use it as fuel. But I'm just saying, as an example, that's the over the course of 17 years, that's the progression of humanity. And so people come out of school where they should be prepared for actual competition. They come out thinking that competition is immoral, that it's wrong, that it doesn't exist, or that you can opt out of it. And the truth is you cannot opt out of it. Competition is real, and it's real in your job, it's real in your life, it's real in your relationship. How many of you have lost a partner in a relationship with somebody else? We're living in a competitive world. This is the truth. This is the reality. And so when you deny that as reality, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of obedience. What's the decision going to be? I'm pretty sure you told yourself you were going to start on the first. And I'm pretty sure you told yourself again you were going to start on the second. And I'm pretty sure you told yourself you were going to start on the third. And I'm pretty sure you've done this year after year after year. When's it going to be? Join us this year. Make the change that you need to make. Become the person you need to become. This isn't about losing 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds. This is about becoming a person that can control their external environment and make decisions that serve them no matter how hard those decisions might be. No matter how inconvenient those decisions might be. That's the only way you're going to solve this problem long term. So don't wait another day. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait another year where you're going to get fatter and broker and more miserable. Start today. Doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what race you are, what gender you are. It doesn't matter who your fucking parents are. Dude, we can make every excuse in the book, but I promise you, for every excuse you can make, there are literally thousands of people who had it harder than you that have done what the fuck you want to do. Do you want to win or do you not want to win? Do you want to be the best or do you not want to be? Do you want to be a weapon or do you want to be a soft fucking spoon? It ain't for everybody. Don't fucking do it if you're a spoon. You don't have any real hard problems. Most of you listening live in America. Most of you are watching this on a fucking $2,000 computer or a $1,000 iPhone. You're telling me you got real motherfucking problems? You have all the opportunity in the fucking world, and you don't have enough real problems, and you're finding shit to complain about because everybody else is complaining. There's a whole bunch of motherfucking people that look at you a couple hard times. There are fucking sharks out there that never fucking stop. They never stop eating, ever. And that's who you're competing with. And this idea of participation trophies, everybody has the opportunity to win. That's all fucking bullshit. Okay, there are fucking killers out there in business that never stop. So you're healing and you're fucking shit. Just understand it's gonna cost you. I don't give a focus on fucking shit that I need to stay focused on. That's what I can do. You know the reason you can burn out, bro, is because you understand that you're in the game and there's sharks in the game. Guess what? You ain't got time for motherfucking mental health. And so if you can't operate in that, guys, you know what really happens in society right now is they don't take care of their fucking food, they don't take care of their body.
One more.
They kind of like live with no urgency. And then all this shit builds up and it starts to affect
Whew.
I get like frustrated. And then the guy's
Whew.
like, well, you just took a break from taking a break. Oh, you weren't even taking care of yourself. You want to break from that? Come on, dude. There's a major part of society.
Okay, one more set.
People who have given their entire fucking lives to build shit now for doing nothing. And dude, it will never be that. But once they're dead, you keep them fucking broke. There's nothing more noble than someone who's committed to being the best fucking version of themselves.
Here's the thing you have to understand. The way you're living today is going to show itself 90 days from now. So whatever price you paid today, whatever work you did today, whatever diet you followed today, whatever work you did today, that's going to materialize 90 days from now. This is the concept of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Change your life. If you really want to get better, if you truly want to transform, the easiest way that I can explain this to you is to start realizing that you are paying a price for your decisions. You're just not seeing them for 90 days. Now, when you realize this, and you abide by this, and you live by this, amazing things start to happen. This is how you're going to start to build the things that you
Oh, we've done.
Whatever you put in today,
3 sets at 20.
you made today, you might call it a sacrifice. I call it
See,
an
we do it again.
investment. It's getting a payoff. It's not a sacrifice. So the investments that you make today are going to pay off. Why are you letting yourself off the hook over and over and over again? Would it help for you to think about it, and would it help you stick to a program if you understood the day you traded today is actually going to be a day that you get back 3 months from now? What are you going to get back 3 months from now? You're going to get back however the quality of the work that you put in today. If you want to be great, if you want to get the recognition, if you want to get fucking paid, if you want all of the things that you dream about, there is only one way to guarantee that you will have those. Only one. And that is becoming so fucking good at what you do, no matter what it is you do, that it is undeniable that other people recognize how great you are. Because becoming undeniable is not something that sticks with you in a certain role. It's a character trait that you fucking develop. That means any place that you are put, you will put in the work, you will learn the skills, you will improve your arsenal, you become the undeniable best in that role. And it doesn't matter if the cookie french fries or you're making $10 billion business deals. You are going to be the absolute best that you can fucking be. And there's nothing that can stop you. It's a skill you can learn. The skill of becoming undeniable. Be fucking great. Put the time in the skills. Put the skills in the practice. To becoming so good with all your peers. That's the best. If you guys don't wake up, you're going to lose. You listen to
20. 20. 20. Got it.
It's okay to get 17. You're not special. 17 points doesn't mean shit. It ain't ever gonna mean shit. And if you think it means shit, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get shit your whole fucking life. Now, the only thing noble about victimhood is overcoming. The only thing noble about your life is going to be what you show people is actually possible. The world will not situations because society has geared itself now to perpetuate easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route. The struggle, the pain, the frustration, and the overcoming of those things. And not only do they pay, they fulfill you as well. Reality is what matters. Not what might be, not what could be, not what should be, what is. Okay? And we have to make decisions based upon what is, not what we wish it was. When I was in school, I struggled with school. I was not a great student. I wasn't someone who did I got A's and B's. I got C's and D's. That's reality. When I went to my guidance counselor when I was 16, 17 years old, we were getting ready to take the standardized test, which at that time was SAT and ACT. I was asked what I wanted to do with my life. And like most 16, 17-year-olds, I didn't really know. But I knew I wanted to do.
Okay, so that's done. All we have is one more cable machine. Not 100% sure I want to do on it. Could just do the same thing I already did, but it's been a good workout. Oh, what turned out to be a potentially bad day where I didn't do my workout, didn't get my stuff done. Maybe would have cobbled together 3 miles of walking. It's turning into a pretty good day. It's a really good workout, which is gonna, like I said, just lead into 8, 9, 10 miles of walking today. Bunch of editing done. It's gonna be a good day. Because if I did out, I think I'll do in. So kind of just basically similar motion to what we just did. Sorry, you guys are just gonna have to look at my back. I don't want to try to turn. So we did those with 25s. This is gonna be 30 plus whatever the plus or minus the gears and the friction do.
I knew I wanted to be something. I knew I wanted to become successful. I knew I wanted to win. You know, living like everybody else was not appealing to me. Which coincidentally is why I struggled in school. The reason I struggled in school was because I couldn't see the point in a lot of the stuff that they were teaching. They would teach these, you know, trigonometry and all the that I couldn't see the practical purpose in, and because I couldn't see the practical purpose in it, I did poorly. I wasn't interested. I didn't execute the way.
Right? Yeah. Because last time.
Or whatever. But at the bottom line,
I did this,
so when I went into
which was for back, and did a lot. I could feel it in my front shoulder.
You know, he wasn't very receptive, and he asked me, said, Andy, you know, what do you see yourself doing? Where do you want to go? And at that time, I wanted to play football. I wanted to become, you know, successful. And I said, you know, well, I want to go to Notre Dame. I want to go to, you know, a school like Texas, and, you know, play football. And his response to me was laughing. He laughed. He said, oh, Andy, you know, those four places, it's going to be pissed off even thinking about it. Those places are for cream of the crop. Those places are for the top of the top. You just ain't it. And he used the term cream of the crop. And I remember saying, no, I'm cream of the crop. Even though it wasn't because of what they could see. But I knew I had something. They just didn't know I had something. And, you know, now, that same school, you know, I'm proud to say I've you know, gone out and done some things, and I've financially that school, built a nice facility, put a nice school. And I tell you that story because I think this is an important lesson for what's going on in the world right now. When I look around right now, I see things that really piss me off. And one of the things that pisses me off the most is that when I was growing up, you know, we were taught, you know, you can be anything you want. You want to be an astronaut? You can do it. You want to be a chef? You can do that. You want to be a firefighter? You can do that. As I got older, and as I grew up and learned a little bit more, you know, I learned that the real world, at a certain age, doesn't reward those kind of statements. You know, 13, 14, 15, you're not dealing with...
Do a sets of 12. Probably do 3 sets of 12 instead of 4 sets of 10.
And they will give you every reason as to why you can't be what it is you want to be. And that's when I was going. Now, the teachers are telling the kids, especially the minority kids, that they cannot do anything in this country. You cannot achieve anything. You're not going to be successful. Doesn't matter how hard you have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using...
The only shortcut to life is to never miss a day. One, because of compounding interest. And two, because sometimes you get lucky.
Okay, disclaimer. These last couple minutes I'm listening to this video that has Andrew Tate in it. I know Andrew Tate, a lot of opinions about him, especially when it comes to women, masculinity, not necessarily the best role model. But a lot of what he talks about, work ethic, suffering, he's not wrong. So, this is one of those, eat the fish, spit out the bones. We're going to eat some fish right now. We're going to end this with a little bit of fish, knowing there's just going to be some bones to spit out. So, let's go with it.
Miss a lucky day if you try every day. If you don't try every day, you might miss your lucky day. And that's what people don't understand. If you never miss a day and you never don't try and you're always on time, well, I like to say no, on time, and you try to improve every aspect of your life, and you're a professional, and you try and make sure that you analyze things, you give yourself feedback, you don't make mistakes, you're not lazy, and you try and you make it to the top. You end up elitist because you look at the people down below and you're like, well, why didn't you try? I did. Oh, I did too. No, you didn't. That's a lie. Now you're lying to me, and that annoys me. When I was poor, I just wanted to get rich. I wanted a Ferrari and a diamond Patek and a big penthouse. I wanted to get rich. You should be trying to get rich. Urgent. What amazes me.
Disagree with that.
Feel the urgency. Some people are like, yeah, I'd like to be rich one day. When I was poor, I wanted to be rich today. Please understand. When I was broke, I couldn't sleep. I'd be trying to go to bed thinking, how the fuck? These people have Ferraris. I want a fucking Ferrari. There's only 3 reasons to be rich in the world today, which is either you're stupid or you're arrogant. And I find the most common one is lazy and arrogant. It's not stupid. There's nobody at home who is too stupid. Anyone watching this right now, you would sit down next to me and I would say, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. You can do it. Of course you could. But you're too lazy to learn how to do it yourself. And you're too arrogant to listen. And you're too arrogant to listen. It's not about being stupid. You're lazy or arrogant. It's one of the two. Those are the common factors of people. So when I meet people who have truly failed, and they pretend to me that they didn't want to fail, I know they're one of the 3. And it's usually arrogant. Because when I sit and say to them, you could have gone out. They could have gone out. As a man, you have to control your emotions. So I don't give a shit if you're depressed. There's no excuse to not be an adult and make decisions based on discipline alone. I'm too depressed to train. No, you lack discipline. Because I felt miserable every single person has. So I don't believe in that crap. I don't believe in it. I know that the true cure to fixing it is to tell them, here's the example I get. If I move into a house and I don't believe in ghosts, I'm going to attribute it to the wind. If I move into the same house,
one more set.
I'm going to start being scared. I'm going to call an exorcist. I'm going to say no. So my point is, the same situation gets worse. Right now, I beliefs. If you don't believe in depression, you can't be depressed. All you can be is, okay, I feel a bit pissed off. Time to get up and go. Let's hit the gym, bang, hit the club. I'm gonna make some things happen in my life. But if you do believe in depression, if you feel sad, the first thing you do is sit down and go, this isn't my fault I feel this way. I have a disease. Nothing's gonna make me better. And you're gonna get worse. This is what was amazing when I said depression wasn't real. If depression is really so horrible, why are you all defending it so fervently? So it's real, it's so powerful, it's real. Why are you defending this horrible thing? Why do you sit there and go, you know what, you're right, Andrew, fuck depression. The only way to win at life is to learn to like being miserable. People don't understand that I'm happiest when I'm angry. Like, why are you always so pissed off? Because that's how I'm happy. I'm happy when I'm annoyed. I don't get happy people who are happy when they're happy. It's weird. Life is basically a prison. It's like Hunger Games. And you're born into this economic model where you're playing the money game that you can't escape. And you're constantly and endlessly ruled by money and pain. Money is you're either trying to make it, or you're suffering from what happened, or you're thinking about making it, or you're trying to hide what you have. So you have to play the economic game. You're born and say, I opt out. I need life. And pain is pain. You're either facing pain, or you're avoiding pain, which puts you in the pain. You avoid the pain in the gym. Or you go to the gym and put yourself through pain. Pain and money rule your life. So considering it's a never-ending struggle, you may as well get very comfortable being pissed off all the time, so you can at least win.
I don't think the people who are running the world are much different than you are. Perhaps they have different resource and different capability, but I think the human nature stays constant around.
If money is going to rule my life, not having it's going to make me worse. Trying to find someone I don't have. Making a bunch of it is going to use my time to make money, so that's going to rule my life. If it's going to rule my life, I may as well have a bunch of it. It's going to rule my life anyway. If pain is going to rule my life anyway, avoiding it's going to control my life. I may as well embrace the pain. Until criminal cases and go to jail. How do you deal with this? They're trying to put you in jail everywhere. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm no less happy.
Okay.
I would be if I was completely free.
I have not listened in a long time. Most of what he said just now was mostly crap. But his stuff about the suffering, I agree with that. Like today's example, you don't have to be in a good mood to do something good. You can be depressed, miserable, suffering, and still go out and do what you need to do. Still get the work done. I know there's exceptions for sure. For me, the reason I used to work through my depressive states, the reason I've started, because I realized if there's any of these natural flows, rather than trying to put the brakes after some amount of time when I'm manic and because I need to rest, just go with it. If that means I go for a couple weeks with, slightly less sleep than I should have or recovery, because then I know a depressive state's coming. So same thing, I no longer try to fight my way, force myself through those because I know that's my recovery time. So where the average person, their rest, recovery, whatever, is more in a 24-hour cycle. Obviously, I'm still a person. I'm still human. I still have, human biology, anatomy, whatever. So I'm still dictated by 24 whatever cycle, but I do have higher, lower gear. So I know when I'm in that higher gear, I can redline a little bit if I need to without risking burning out my engine. Because if I get to that point, it's going to drop me down to depressive. And then I will go into a longer 3 days, a week, 2 weeks of a rest recovery. So honestly, I have no clue why I was even saying anything I was just saying. So with that, we're going to end this episode. If you guys, hope you enjoy these. I hope the workouts help. If nothing else, steal my workouts as I make these up. I come up with what I'm doing, use them, try them out. If you want more help in that, reach out to me. I'm supposed to be starting as a personal trainer, Anytime Fitness. But I haven't heard anything back. I could go ahead and check on that. If you need a custom workout plan, can't do custom meal plans yet because I'm still working on that. I'm not actually certified nutritionist yet. I'm working on that. But yeah, let me know. Reach out if you need help, and I'll see what I can do. Until then, I'm tired. I can't really think straight. So love you guys. I'll see you in the next tomorrow for leg day, which is gonna suck. I don't like leg day, but tomorrow's leg day.